Oh, welcome to our generation where it's like penetrate me on the first night, but me tell you I want to see you again. Oh, I can't do that. That's too far.
Too far.
That's too far.
But you can fuck the shit out of me.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
I'll show you my private parts.
This man's dick has been in the back of your throat. Text him and say you want to hang out again, because that's scarier.
Hey guys, it's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Brocal Therapy. And guess the fuck what? Brittany Brave is on the pod this week. She's a stand-up comedian, actress, and writer from New York and Miami. To be honest, this was the first time meeting her, but the vibes were vibing. And then she immediately opened up because she was spiraling because she went on a date with a guy. And as we do, when it is a good date, we start to overthink. So, of course, as a new friend, and also we're on the pod, this is the perfect time to do this. We drafted a text to him. So that spiraled into a deeper conversation about why the hell she was spiraling, and also just like how hard it is to be vulnerable in today's dating culture. Because this is Brocal Therapy, we do get real about some deep shit. So I do want to say now and give you all a trigger warning that we do talk about domestic violence. So please do take care of yourself if that topic is triggering. If you love this episode, give us 5 stars, leave a review, and share this with your friends. Hit subscribe and follow for more episodes on dating, sex, relationship, and honestly, just to follow me and my besties on navigating through life and shit. So please enjoy this episode with Brittany Brave after this commercial break. Broke Girl Therapy. I know we literally just met like 5 minutes ago.
But I feel like I've known you for like...
I feel like I know you too. I was listening to like a bunch of your stuff, like obviously doing my research, and then like listened to the episodes you did with the twins, and I was like, oh
Cammie
yeah,
and
I know this
Nikki.
bitch. Yeah,
We're big fans of Cammie and Nikki.
Oh yeah, we love Cammie and Nikki on this pod.
Yeah, I wonder even how, I think I found them through the internet as well too. Really? I want to say, well, I found them or they found me. That feels right. And then they were like, you should come on our podcast. And then Cammie came on mine.
Yeah.
And then I saw you guys were really good friends.
Yes.
And I was like, I love that these pods are going to bed with each other.
Literally, we've gone to, for sure.
Well, because wait, they're Libras, right?
Yeah.
And you're an Aquarius?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are kind of soulmates in some
and
ways.
then also, well, my moon and rising is Aries.
Yeah.
And then their rising, I think, is also Aries, too.
Oh, so you guys are, like, legit.
Just, like, very similar.
Cut from the
similar,
same...
but not similar at the same time, because I feel like we're very different. But we work really well together.
Yeah. I know. It's, like, a good energy, for sure.
Yeah, like, we just kick it. We just get along really well.
Yeah, everyone just kind of accepts each other. It's soulmate energy. It's nice and
very,
easy.
very much that. Very much that. Yeah.
Like a mutual understanding energy.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you feel this way being an Aquarius, but I feel like we kind of just, we could just kick it with, like, anybody. Like, if you have a good vibe, like, it's there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But we're also, like, our bullshit radar is so astute.
Oh, my God. No,
and
same.
so on point. Yeah.
I can't, like, I don't really do well with small talk. So if I go to, like, network industry events, it kind of, like, gives me a bit of social anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I rather talk about, like, what's your relationship like with your parents versus, like, so what do you do for work? You know what I mean? And, like,
why do you think I don't date? Because the idea of having to sit across from somebody for 2 hours and do that whole, like, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
And what do you do for work? And whatever is, like, a complete colossal waste of time.
For sure.
So that's why it's, like, I don't even go on a date until I've already vetted that I'm, like, I could fuck with this person or fuck this person or both.
Okay, so let's talk about this because you're spiraling. So let's just jump into it so we don't have to do small
Fine. He's probably going to listen to the pod. I hope he
think
does.
so?
I don't know.
Well, let me make sure.
I'm in my feels. See, I asked you if you think that you ruin the potential for a real connection with a man if you sleep with them too quickly.
I say no and yes. I don't know. It just depends. Like, I don't feel like that's like a black and white answer.
Yeah.
You know, I think it just depends on the people involved and, like, who you are and our relationship with sex and, like, their relationship with sex. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everyone has, like, their different ways of, like, what I'm trying to say is I think everyone has their own, like, relationship with sex.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know.
So it's interesting for me because it's like I do consider myself to be a very sexual person. Like I like, you know, I have a high sex drive. I masturbate a lot. I love sex.
Oh, I love that.
Love it. You know?
Yeah.
That being said, I haven't been hoeing it up in a couple years. Like over the last 3 years, I've mostly just been having sex with people that I've already had a pre-established connection with or a history with.
Yeah.
Hasn't been a lot of new people just because not a lot of time to dedicate. Kind of what we were saying about dating. I don't want to go and sit across from a guy for 2 hours and be like, You like pineapple on pizza, or like, you know what I mean?
God,
Like, I
also
can't.
no pineapple on pizza.
Never, ever.
Yeah,
I'm an
no.
Italian. If you put pineapple on pizza, I'll put a hit out for you.
Right,
like, for real. And so it's like that. But it's also like, I don't know, when the connection is there, that's when I want to have sex.
Yeah.
And I know I'm so much more than just what I do in the bedroom and sex and stuff like that. So that's why it's like such a fine line to go on a date and really enjoy yourself and have a couple drinks and be like, I want to connect with this person like this tonight in this way. But then I have like some of my male friends or some people, you know, in my life, like try to tough love me, and they're like, you ruined the potential for a real relationship.
But I don't like that either. I don't like putting like that pressure. Like, you ruined it, because it's like, how do you know? Like, they don't know the other person.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true. And I've also started to kind of take the power back in my hands with dating. Like, we spend so much time dating being like, are they going to like me? Like, my 20s were like that. Are they going to like me?
We're just like a bunch of pick-me girls in our 20s.
And we all are.
We all are, yeah.
You just want any man to commit to you in your 20s.
Yes.
Anybody. You're like,
please, someone
handle me. Take care of me. Someone co-sign that I'm worthy of love and affection or whatever.
I'm a good enough woman for you to want to like lock in.
Exactly. And I think now in my 30s, the way I can try to take my power back with this spiraling is like, I know what? I don't want to be with a man who would judge me for sleeping with him quickly.
Exactly.
I want to be with a man who's like, that was great. We were two adults. We enjoyed each other.
Right.
Let's do that again.
Right.
Kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think that's a good point, because like, you would want to be with a man who wouldn't judge women for that, you know? Especially if that's something that's like, you know, if we're, continue. Sorry.
No, that's it. That's it. So I'm in my feels because I went on a date a week and a half ago and I really enjoyed myself on all levels.
Yeah.
And it's like, we talked for about a week or so.
Yeah.
But it's also complicated because I'm a touring comedian. So 2 days after this awesome date, I'm like, bye.
You're like, be
gone,
BRB for
gone
a while.
for 3 weeks. Yeah. So
dang.
We're not necessarily currently communicating, and it hasn't been also like radio silence, but that's why I'm like
what's happening? So maybe like with having sex like right away, it's not necessarily like ruining it. Maybe it's like the relationship you have with it. Like for instance, like because of these spiraling moments was the reason why I didn't like have sex with them right away. Like towards the end. I mean, obviously I've had a lot of, you know.
Yeah.
But if I like really like somebody, I try to like hold off, because not necessarily for them to like,
but for your own emotional protection.
Exactly. Because like for me at least, like it becomes to be so intimate with someone is like, it's just the next level of like, I mean, intimacy, you know, and connection. And so it's like almost like they're leaving a part of you more, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, for me. But again, it's like, I don't think it's like you're ruining it. Maybe it's just like catching like those emotions right now. Be like, okay, like, are you someone that kind of gets like,
I get attached when I like them.
Okay,
even if
you don't have sex with them.
No. I don't know.
Do you think like this? Like,
it's so rare to like somebody.
I know, like when you're so excited.
It's so rare. My dad had explained it one time. He said that men have a throne in their head. I think women have it too. And he was like, there's one person who's always occupying that seat.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, obviously, like, we can get into, like, polyamory and feelings for people and things like that. Yeah, like, obviously, it's all fluid and open now. But he was like, usually that's and I think that is how I work, too. Like, there's always just, even if I've got crushes on a couple guys, there's
always that one that you like.
And he's sitting in the throne. And until somebody else comes by that connection compares to, it's
you're always going to compare the other ones to that one.
Correct.
There was always a man in that throne, and I'm annoyed.
Yeah. So there's a man in my throne.
Oh my God.
And he was in my pussy a week and a half ago.
Was it good? Do you want to talk about it?
It was so good.
I love those moments when you like have sex with someone and you just like replay it in your head. You're like, God damn.
Yeah,
really
damn, boy.
Yeah,
that's another thing too. I also think our phones listen to us because I got like completely dicked down and now I'm just like seeing him and signs of him everywhere.
Oh my God.
I think, and I'm like, okay, my iPhone heard how hard I came last week. Like, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, and that's another thing that's a rarity too, is good sex and like the first time with somebody linking, and it's like, oh, we do this well. This is good.
Yeah, what did you like about him?
About his personality or his
Just
physical?
him. What did you like about?
I can't believe I'm going to spend so much time on this podcast talking about a man that may ghost me.
I know. I'm so sorry, but
no,
it's okay.
It's therapy. It's therapy.
It's therapy.
Broke girl therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We gotta work through these emotions, even if it's like.
Well, physically he's packing, so that's amazing for me.
Okay.
And like takes care of his body as well too.
Yeah,
so that's really good too.
Yeah.
Really smart, really hardworking, really grounded, really self-motivated.
Yeah.
Has a lot of projects that he's working on, as busy, if not busier than me. Like, we're on par with our schedules and our hustle.
Yeah. Is he also like in the same field as you, as like comedian? Okay.
Yeah, doesn't do stand-up, but actor, comedian,
Okay.
other things, producer, writer, director. We
I
love
see.
all of that. I don't know, and we just like
Have so much in common.
so much in common. 5-hour date, non-stop conversation, not a single lull. Deep, funny, playful, flirty. And then, it's like at the end of a night like that, how are you not going to be like, I want this man inside me immediately?
Literally. Like, put your dick in my mouth.
Both only children, both close with our parents.
Oh, you're only child?
I am. Are you?
No.
How many siblings?
4.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, like, I grew up, my parents divorced when I was 16, so I grew up with 2 brothers. My dad remarried and had a boy, and then my stepmom brought in, she had like a child from another
extended
stepsister.
family situation.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. So
cool.
Middle child, only girl growing up.
What's up? Oh my God,
Trauma.
only girl. How was that? Do you think you have a better understanding of like the other side because of that upbringing?
I don't know, because my younger brother, and I don't know, just the Filipino culture and Filipino men, because I'm Filipino.
Your makeup is banging, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You look so good.
Oh, thanks.
We just met today, by the way.
We literally just met 5 minutes ago.
I think she's in my. I think you're going in my will.
Oh my God. I love that.
There's not a lot in there. I wouldn't get excited,
yeah,
but you're going. I'll put you in.
Yeah. My younger brother is a very performative guy, so he could be kind of presented as like feminine, even though he's not.
Okay.
He's just like
metrosexual a little bit.
Not even. He's just like, so Filipino men, there's not really much of a machizo type of like mentality, where it's like, oh, super masculine. Like the Filipino men are very like, just chill. I don't know. There isn't like a toxic masculinity that happens in the Filipino culture.
Okay.
Enough. Anyway, so like he's like, we also love to sing, we love to dance, we're very performative, and I think growing up, people have really assumed that he was gay. So my brother has always just kind of struggled with like, I'm not gay though, but I'm like
yeah.
But people think so it's like, I don't know. I don't really have like that, because I don't really date guys like them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've really given me this insight of like, what a man thinks, because they don't operate like that.
They don't operate like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense.
They're not like alpha male, like
well,
like,
I also think that alpha male thing has got to die on the spot immediately.
Exactly.
Like men, we need to be sharing our feelings, and
that's like my brothers. It's like they share their feelings. You know what I mean? So to me, it wasn't like. And maybe that's why I like do so well with my boyfriend. He's a Cancer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he's so great at like showing his affection. And I know for a lot of guys, it's kind of like, don't ever, especially for black men, it's like, don't ever show your emotions.
And
you know?
Latino
and here I am
men
being like,
and
all
Italian men. Yeah. Like literally, I was most men. Yeah. I really do pity men in that sense. I think there truly is like a loneliness epidemic that's happening. And I really do feel like as if they find even just like transparency with their emotions to be weakness, and it's how they're conditioned. Like even now, like I'm going through a mini emotional spiral, but like I'm a girl.
Yeah.
And I know what to do. Like I know how to handle and where to put these emotions in my body, and like I can tell myself breathe, or it's okay, right, or like whatever.
I was like having a panic attack the other day. Okay,
honey, I needed to see that sign when I walked in. I walked in and I was like, she's right. Just take a deep breath. They're just emotions and thoughts, Brittany.
Just for context, there's breathe on my whiteboard, because sometimes I'm working and I'm just like so fucking anxious, and like I'm like. Take a moment. It's not that big of a deal.
Take a step back.
It's really not a big deal.
Walk away.
Yeah.
But I just really feel like as if they're so afraid to say they like you or to you know, it's even like even after dates and stuff, it's like you can almost feel it. Like sometimes when there's a really strong connection and a strong date, sometimes you can almost feel that like natural pulling away from them a little bit. Because it's like they don't know I really believe they don't know what to do. Like they're really just like, that was good. I feel things.
Yeah.
No.
I will say my brother, okay, now like, because so my brother was married most of his 20s. Like he was with his girlfriend, got married early in his 20s, and then divorced by 30.
Yeah.
And so now at like 31 or something like that. How old is he? 32? How old am I? 34.
Yeah, I'm 34 as well too, 1991.
1991!
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
90s babies.
Yes. So,
best decade.
so now he's like in his 30s and he's like dating kind of for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my brother, like I said, he's like kind of nerdy. Doesn't, you know, he's always been in a relationship, like that nice guy, you know. And now he's like did this thing where he dated this girl and like immediately within like the first day they're like, I love you. And like they even had sex. They did the whole thing. And then like a month later, he was like, maybe I don't like her. And he's like pulling away and he's like, I'm such an asshole. I'm such an asshole. I'm such an asshole. And I'm like, see, that's why we don't rush though. Because he could be so like,
head first.
Yeah,
let's go all the way the fuck in. Let's
like,
do
she's
it.
Like staying over, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, never mind. He's like, wait, I'm one of those guys now. They're like pulling back. I'm like,
see,
oh, I've dated guys like you.
Yeah. See, I think that is a. Okay, so I have a couple thoughts about that.
Okay.
So, I think that men aren't aware of how much they actually want this companionship and this love and this connection, and that's why they accidentally love bomb. That's what I think, because it's they get it.
Yeah.
And it feels so good, and they go all in, and they're holding you on their chest, and they're this and they're that, and they're I love you or whatever it is.
I can't wait to do like, you know, they like have future plans with you and shit.
100%. And then they because they can't stop themselves. And to be fair, human beings, it's really hard to yellow light feelings. It's very hard to be like, I like this person. Take it slow. What do you mean take it slow? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see them. I want to talk to them. But that to me is like, the metaphor I use for that is like, that's like being starved in the desert or not having any water. And then you get a taste of it. And you go all in.
Exactly. You're so excited.
You indulge.
Yeah.
And it's like, I also just think that that's also a defense mechanism too, and like post-nut clarity a little bit too, that they take a step back and then they're like
post-nut clarity.
Yeah, and it's also projection too. Like they take a step back, they get afraid to get hurt, so then they're like, maybe I just like really don't like her, and it's just post-nut clarity, and like
they're like I was just really dang. So that goes to our first question: was having sex like on the first date, bad or good?
And I think we're back where we arrived where we started, which I think it's
exactly.
it's
like so is it like did nut clear? But again, I don't think I still stand by. I don't think it's like a black and white answer, because like again, it depends on the person, because you know what I mean. It's like I also think if they truly liked you, even with the nut clarity, they'll still be there.
I have to believe that. I'm staying with one of my friends tomorrow. I'm like couch surfing while I'm in LA, and she has been with her husband, and they have a wonderful relationship. Just moved out from New York to LA, just got their first home, everything. She's one of the biggest testaments that she was like, we fucked on the first date. I really firmly believe like if it's there, it's there.
No matter what, how it happens. Like I think if you truly like have a real authentic connection with someone, it shouldn't matter.
I
still stand by that. Yeah.
So should I text him?
What are you gonna say?
I just really like.
I think you know what? Yes. Because
I'm gonna do
we
it
need
right
to be honest.
Now.
Because if we really like this other person, we need to say it.
Should I just be like, okay,
let's think this through.
We're gonna do this right now on the pod. It's been a week and a half since we've texted. It's not that it's been completely radio silent.
Yeah.
But I did leave like, 2 days after our date.
Yeah. So valid. He's just like, oh, she's busy. I don't want to like bug her. But this is your chance to be like, you could bug me.
Should I just be direct? And should I be like, can I come back to New York? Can I see you next week? I get back to New York on Sunday.
Yeah. I think you should.
And I would love a round two.
Yes.
Should I make it dirty?
Oh. I don't know. I mean, is that like your guys' first date? Well, I'm scared to think that maybe that's what he would think, that you're only just there for that.
Okay.
Because it's like, I mean, actually, that's the pros of the question. What are you there for?
I don't know, but I do like. I don't know.
You do like him, so let's not like just put you in a box of just just the sex part, because we know the sex is going to come. You guys already established that you've done it. It's good. It's going to happen again. But I think maybe you just sending a text in a way being like, I want to see you. I think.
Yeah. Can I see you next week, please? I get back to.
Yeah.
Doing it on the pod.
On the pod live. She just FaceTime him. Just kidding. Should we just call him? Fuck it.
All my friends said not to do this.
They said your friends said not to do this?
No, not really.
Okay.
Can I see you? And what if I make it cuter? Have any time for me next week? I get back to New York on Sunday and would love a round 2.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's
You're
cute.
the one with the boyfriend. How long have you been with your boyfriend?
Almost 5 years.
Oh my God.
I know, annoying, right? Because I'm like, she needs to
Disgusting.
propose. And I used to never think I would ever be that woman.
But you're ready?
But I'm like, now I'm kind of like, I think I need to add pressure. I get why women have added pressure on men before. Because I'm like, I know he wants to.
Yeah, like you talked about it.
Yeah. We always talk about it. So, but it's just a matter of like just doing it, you know. And I'm just like, maybe we should just do it.
Yeah, I feel it feels like
it's not like we're just impulsively doing it.
Feels like an emotional
5 years.
nut that needs to come out sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always felt that way too. I would be like, I wouldn't be the kind of girl that would put pressure for something like that. But I also feel like things change when you meet the right person and the right feelings and emotions are in the mix and stuff. Like even this, like I've been so chill and I've been in therapy and I've been so healed and I've been whatever. And then I was like, you just haven't met someone you like yet.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Who's gonna test all that shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a very natural desire to want to. I know a lot of people who have changed their feelings on marriage because they met the right person.
Exactly.
And then they were like, oh, never mind, put a baby in me.
Literally insert. Yeah. I'm just like, dang, I got my period today. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know he wore a condom because he knows.
Oh.
He's like, we're not ready yet.
Yeah, not ready.
Like, okay,
not ready for the baby.
I know. Like, I want to be a mom so bad. I have like AI babies.
What do you mean? You have AI babies?
You know, like
do tell. Yeah.
You know those like ads I don't know, maybe it's just on my algorithm, but I kept getting ads for like, see how your babies would look like, you know, and like put you and your significant other's pictures together. And then it would like generate
what the baby would look like.
Are
you a fan of these AI babies? Do you like how they're turning out?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. I look at it all the time.
You do know that they're going to be better looking on AI than they are in person, because we all are.
Right.
We all look better on AI. Like anytime I put my face through a Facetune AI app or whatever, I was like, oh, this would be me.
I know, it's like a Facetune version of my kitten for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also kind of like, ooh, I wonder if they would look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But it's just nice to see something and be like, oh, it would look something like this, you know?
That's so romantic. That's so 2025.
I know.
It's like, do you like them? It's like, kind of. I've been like putting our headshots in ChatGPT and seeing what our kids would look like. Like, yes. Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
But it's okay. But anyways, back to you. So did you send it?
Should I do it?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Is that weird?
Oh, I'm saying something so dirty.
What are you saying?
When I share this pod, he's going to know I'm sending it to you. Biatch. Can I see you next week? I get back to New York on Sunday and would love a round 2 of drinks and also of you smacking my ass and calling me a good girl. That's too forward.
Here, my only thing though, with mentioning this something sexual, do you think, because I know you're worried about
it just being about sex and it just being about my sexuality.
And you're like, am I ruining it on the first date? So like, just to be safe, before we send it, or did you already send it?
No.
Before we send it, let's think this through. Are you okay with that? Because he might take it as like, oh, she just wants to fuck. Like, do you want him to know that you're also interested in like something beyond just sex?
Why are you asking me all these questions?
Because we need to think this through.
Okay.
As your new friend that's on your will.
You don't get your hopes up. It's not a lot in there. Can I see you next week? I get back to New York on Sunday. We'll have a round 2 of drinks and also... maybe I'll just chill it out of drinks and also getting called a good girl. How about that?
Okay.
Can I see you next week? I get back to New York on Sunday and would love a round 2.
Yeah, because round 2 could mean anything.
And I said of drinks.
Okay.
I said of catching up over drinks, but also of getting called a good girl.
Okay. Like, you're okay with this. I just want to think, because I'm all for it, but I'm also like, because we need to be intentional. Like, what is your intention and how do you want him to receive it?
I want to get his attention.
Like, I just want his attention. Do you want a relationship? Are you looking for one right now?
I'm open to it.
And do you think that he's someone who could possibly, because you don't know everything right away, but could possibly be a contender for a relationship?
Yeah. So then maybe you don't be so dirty.
Not just yet, because he already knows you're dirty. That's fine. But maybe just
I
in
should
that
take
text-
advice from the person who's been in a 5-year relationship and on the brink of getting
because
engaged.
here's the thing, I used to be the fun girl that was always like, ha ha ha, yeah, let's like fuck and like smoke cigarettes and blah.
Mhm.
And then they always just looked at me as the fun girl, you know, because I proposed myself as that.
Can I see you next week? I get back to New York on Sunday and would love a round 2.
I think that's good because a round 2 can mean anything. Round 2 of just getting to know each other, drinks, sex, whatever, wherever it goes. And also not putting pressure, because what if it's like you somehow didn't have sex that day? Is that going to make you feel weird, you know?
No.
Okay.
I just want to get his attention.
I think that's still going to get his attention. I think it's still like a nice text to receive, like, oh, someone wants to see me.
Maybe I could just chill it out and be like a round 2 of drinks, and other activities.
Okay. I feel like you really want to say it. So say it.
I need you to work me through this. I'm having a full spiral.
I know. I was like, I mean, but here's the thing. You're still going to get his attention. Do you feel like you need to add the sex part just to get his attention? Because we need to, if that's so, you know, maybe we could like debrief.
Just because I don't know where he's at and he may just want to have sex again.
Then don't assume though, because even if just you saying like, let's hang out round 2, it could mean anything.
Okay.
Casual, maybe getting to know each other. It doesn't put pressure on anything. Because you don't know if you just want sex yet. Like you just put that in your head right now. We're making assumptions without actually hearing from him.
Okay. Can I see you next time? Sorry, you can edit all of this out.
No,
I
you're
am
good,
having
you're
a
good. Do your
full
thing.
panic attack. I am so sorry. I'm anxious attachment big time.
Oh, we could talk about it because I was too. I feel like I've healed from it. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. He sent it.
No.
We need to propose this as like you do like it. Like honor your feelings too.
Can I see you next week? I have action work on Sunday night and would love a round 2.
That's perfect. It's attention grabbing enough. We're not there yet because we don't know what this relationship dynamic is yet.
I'm so sorry. I'm having like an anxious attachment.
No, do you need anything? Do you want me to help you with like
Sent.
So what was the final
I did.
text
I
message?
put something sexy in there.
Okay,
I know
okay,
me.
okay.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta keep true to you. But I just wanted to like before we hit send, talk it through so it didn't feel like impulsive. Because I'm someone who could be very impulsive too, especially when I was dating. I would be like, fuck it, just say what I feel, and then be like, oh fuck, you know. So I always like to like think things through now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you want to talk about anxious attachment styles?
Yeah, I'm definitely anxious attachment. But I don't know where it came from. I'm anxious and secure attachment.
Oh, okay.
And they say it stems from your parents, but I had 2 wonderful parents. I'm an only child. I actually think too much was put on me.
I'm going to say, I think sometimes it's like the opposite. Like, I think with only child, there might be something there, maybe, just because there is a lot on you. So I think we always think like, maybe you were abandoned and that's why, you know, but maybe you just had a lot of attention in a good way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And because maybe it was so used to it being on you.
Yeah, I think that's why I actually have a bit in my act about that it was such a thing that it was too much attention. Like one time I was a bridesmaid in my cousin's wedding and my mom and my dad cheered for me as I walked down the aisle. That's 100% true. I was like, guys,
You're
not
like,
my day.
Yeah. You're like,
Tone it down, rein it in. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I wonder if it's that. And like, I mean, my mom can be a little cold and withholding, and my dad traveled a lot.
Okay.
Like, they were very supportive and present parents.
Yeah.
My mom isn't necessarily the most affectionate
Okay.
and whatever. So, I don't know where it comes from. Or maybe it's just from like bad early boyfriends and early interactions
I was gonna say,
with
like,
men.
sometimes I mean, parents do play a huge part, but I also think like dating history is like a whole thing that is traumatizing. You know?
Yeah, it completely is. And I have had
Yeah.
nearly exclusively terrible dating history.
That's probably where
Where it comes
is.
from. Yeah, like first boyfriends cheating on me with
Okay.
like girls that I know.
Yeah.
Saying traumatic, really mean things about my body, that I look like a little boy, that
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then like I also am a domestic violence survivor. Like my last serious boyfriend was 3.5 years and he was punchy and terrible and financially abusive and so emotionally. I sent him to jail and got a restraining order and a whole, So really, And he used to tug at that too and knew that I had like a little bit of an anxious attachment style, and he would love to just like block me for a couple of hours.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I would be like, this is not healthy. Like we were in the middle of maybe a tense chat or something, but this is not healthy. This is not good.
Yeah. So I think that's probably what it is. It's like, especially if it's like starting at a young age with your, or your first relationship being like you got cheated on. Like that's traumatizing. Being cheated on especially
is very
like,
traumatizing. It was like early high school.
Yeah, that's
and I liked him so much. I liked him so much. And it was with a good friend of mine, and he just started ghosting me on Christmas. Around Christmas, I was like not hearing from my boyfriend. I was heartbroken. I was crying, and then I ended up finding out like, oh, he and Christina are all, we hate Christina, and
Christina.
Like Brittany and Christina, like it's the classic battle. Bless you.
Such a millennial, like.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'm like, we should have just had a dance battle and figured this out. But
Brittany, Christina,
I guess it's got to come from like inconsistencies with men, and maybe a little bit. Yeah, my father traveling a lot and me seeing him and then he's gone, and me seeing him and then he's gone, growing up or whatever. Sure. But yeah, which is crazy because I'm so not like that with anything else in my life. I'm very let go, let God.
Wow.
With everything else. Or I'm very like the things that I can't control, like my career and my body and my fitness and my health.
Yeah.
I'm very like grounded and whatever, but like
when it comes to
relationships, it's completely Venus and Pisces, detriment, bleeding
yeah.
heart,
so just like
bleeding heart. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That's
okay.
Really, yeah, that's
I need a Cancer man, I think, or like a Virgo, or like a Scorpio, or something that like I really think that. Yeah.
Before my boyfriend, like I definitely had an anxious attachment style.
Yeah.
With men and like with guys that I've dated, because I always felt like never like enough. And like I had an ex that would do the thing where he knew I was so anxiously attached, like you said, but then like just stop talking to me.
Yeah. And
not say a reason why he's mad at me, but then like block me on everything.
That's very traumatizing.
Just to leave you fucking dry and hanging.
Yeah. Yeah,
awful.
That's what my ex did, amongst other really terrible things, but he knew for a fact. And I would always say to him, like, if you need space or we're in the middle of a fight and things are getting too intense, it's okay. Just tell me you need space. I will honor that and give it to you. But he would it was usually me calling him out on something fucked up that he did, catching him cheating, something, whatever.
It's always something that they actually did fucking wrong. But then they try to spin on you and Yeah,
and then he goes, I don't want to have this conversation right now. And I'm like, well, like, that's also emotional abuse too. Like, he would literally be like, I'd be like, I would really like to talk about this. And he would just be like, I don't. And then what do you do? Yeah. Like, genuinely, what do you do? Because you're like, well, I'm trying to honor the fact that you don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
But I do. So now I just have to swallow my feelings. And like, I have a feeling you don't want to talk about it because you know you're wrong.
Exactly. You're just trying to avoid it and now make me look like I'm the bad person in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just feel crazy. And for me, like, my reaction was to just like to scream and to just cry, and like I could not like contain myself.
Uh-huh.
And I even did like
me too.
Like did an episode of like emergency pod with my friends, like I feel like I definitely have to, like, they make you go crazy, but then like my natural demeanor is like in my relationship now is like I hardly ever do that,
Yeah.
So yeah. You definitely just need someone who like, I mean, I think we all deserve someone who just like listens to you and like makes you feel validated and you trust,
Seen,
to feel seen and heard. And
yeah, I'm really craving that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I really am. That kind of like companionship. And I do believe that when it's with the right person, you don't get super anxious, or like they can hold space for that as well too. Like, I joke about it and it's like I'm fully a survivor, and like I don't think I'll ever end up with somebody that's abusive like that, but like you can't undo those experiences. I'm a rescue dog a little bit. Like, I have a bit about it in my act too. And I'm like, so it's almost like I try to tell that to guys as early as I can without getting too heavy too quick. But I'm like,
like, I love hard and I want to be loved.
Yeah. And I'm like, and it's like that it's almost like floodgates sometimes too, because you could feel the potential to love somebody and then you have to like lock it back and you're like, oh God. Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to love you like so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, having an anxious attachment style and then having nearly exclusively just mean, toxic, terrible boys and bad relationships.
Yeah. That could do it.
That'll do it. And I think I attract the avoidant because I subconsciously don't want it to work, but I'm working on it. Yeah.
Yeah. The avoidance.
Yeah.
How long ago was that relationship with
Mhm.
the abusive ex?
It was 6-7 years ago, I guess now.
Okay.
We were together for 3.
Wow.
He was 17 years older. He had a kid who was 7 months old from his baby mama who she got pregnant immediately, and then they broke up, and for the same reason, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, she filed for and won custody of his daughter.
Wow.
For the exact same claims. Like, exact same. He has a drug problem. He need me in the stomach when I was pregnant. Abusive. All these
Wow.
things.
Dude, fuck this guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this, like, I feel at peace with him in the sense of, like, I just hope wherever he is, he's not hurting anybody. And
learn
hurting
from
himself,
it.
and he's learned from it. I don't think that that's the case, you know. But that was also a product of being in my 20s and just wanting somebody to commit so badly. And like, all things considered, we were really in love. Well, truly, I do still believe that, you know. And there was a really genuine connection. But man, you know, he got me. He was 17 years older, and it was the first time I was in love, and it was really intense, and the greatest sex I've ever had, and the great everything.
Yeah.
So that made it even harder to leave because you have nothing else to really fully compare it to.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, but I'm in love, so this should be So,
yeah. No, I get that. I mean, what you said, like you definitely honored the fact that you were in love with him, and even though it was abusive, because I feel like I look at my ex too, I'm like, I know I loved that man, even though people would be like, this wasn't real love, you guys. Like, no, I love that man. But the thing is, love isn't enough.
No.
You know, like sometimes you can love the wrong fucking people.
Yeah,
you
go
know?
off, sis.
And like, just because you fucking love someone so much doesn't mean you allow them to fucking be abusive and to be whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just love isn't enough.
No, it's not. But what it is it is the catalyst to creating other things that are.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. So it's not enough, and we're taught our whole lives that it is. Unconditional love is, I'll be there for you no matter what, and I won't leave you no matter what. And I think there's truth to that. But I think when there's genuine love there, the byproduct is respect and safety and consent, and patience is a big one, and generosity and kindness and all of these other things that are the byproduct of love. So you're right. Love is not enough. It starts with love. Yeah. But when it's the right fit, if you truly love somebody, you make sure you're respecting them and you're seeing them and you're taking care of them and you're holding space and stuff. And
for sure,
that's what it was with him. I adored him. I loved him so much, and he had such a dark past. But I, at some point, was like, I can't fix this, and you keep doing this to multiple women.
Yeah.
And you're not doing anything to fix it, even though you know it makes you a literal woman beater.
Yeah. What was that like? What was that feeling of finally, after like 3 years of just being like waking the fuck up and like leaving? Like, what was that feeling? Or is there something that you want? I mean, I know this is very personal, so I don't know.
No, I talk about it all the time. I couldn't be a bigger open book about it.
Okay, great. So it's like, what was that like last moment for you when you realized I need to get the fuck out?
The feeling I will describe it as is piercing.
Okay.
Piercing, like your ears ringing. Sobering. Like how I could imagine a cold plunge feels. I've never cold plunged, but how a cold plunge feels.
Yeah.
You know,
the sobering is a good one. Like, it's like almost like, you sobered up and you're like, wait.
Yeah. Second wind.
Yeah.
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 Very clear, very calm, very focused, very precise. I remembered I went out to visit him one last time, trying so hard to just, we'll fix this.
Yeah.
And we can let everything that happened go, and we can, you know, and he was living in Salt Lake City at the time, and I was in New York. He had moved back because of his custody battle. So that was a whole other thing that was going on. And per usual, it started off amazing. And then he gets too drunk one night and a fight starts about something. I don't even remember what it was about, but it goes exactly where it always goes.
Yeah, it's like the same routine shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was almost predictable at this point. And I remembered when I went to go visit him, I didn't tell my mom or my dad. I couldn't tell them. It's broken their hearts or whatever. And I told my cousins right before I was getting on the plane. I said, I need to tell somebody that I'm going to Salt Lake City because I may die. Like, I knew that.
Dang,
I was like, someone should know. I cannot tell my mom and my dad, but someone should know. And at one point during that weekend, this was also the precursor to sobering up. And leaving him, I mean, I realized at some point I wasn't answering my phone whatever reason. And my cousin we're very close. And I told him and his wife, and I wasn't answering my phone, and he started to have a complete panic attack and like blow up my phone and be like, FaceTime me right now, FaceTime me, literally. And that's kind of when I realized the impact that relationship had on my family. And my cousin's wife was like, he was like 2 seconds away from getting a flight. Like he literally was like, she's not answering. It's bad. I know it is, because it always is with him. Like I'll fly out there and find her. But yeah, it was another fight. To talk about sex for the first time ever in our relationship. I knew for an absolute fact that he cheated, because he was starting to have like performance issues. And he was very upset with himself and very weird about it. And I was like, oh, he cheated. And it was the same old, same old. And when I tell you, it was like he like threw me out of bed. My head hit the wall. I got up and I was silent.
Wow.
He was yelling. He was throwing things. He was whatever. And I just walked out. I grabbed a cup of water. I stepped in the bathroom. I ran the water so he wouldn't hear. I called American Airlines. I changed my flight. He had no idea.
Wow.
I cut the trip early. I came back. He was just yelling at me, pushing me, like just trying to antagonize me. And I was just sitting there like almost like dead in the eyes, like just taking it. And I was like, that was it. And then he was like, oh, why are you so quiet? Why are you? And I was like, nothing. Nope, that's it. And then I went to bed that night, and he tried to have sex and cuddle. And I wouldn't let it happen. And technically the last words he said to me in person were, I'm sorry. And I pretended not to hear him, like I was asleep. He goes, I'm sorry. And I didn't say anything. And then I woke up so early in the middle of the night, packed silently.
I just left.
Went to the airport, blocked him on everything on the way there. He had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only way I could have left, too. I was supposed to leave 2 days later. He had no idea that I changed my flight.
Dang.
Literally. Packed silently. That was it.
Did he ever try to find other ways to try to get a hold of you?
Yeah, and that's how we caught him. That's how we got his ass and took him to jail.
Oh.
So I started a case against him, and I got the restraining order and everything in order. Wow. And he came to New York 2 weeks later. And on the last day, I actually remember, he showed up at a concert I went to. He knew I loved this band. And I had told my detective, I said, you guys should bring some police here, because I just know he's going to show up. And he did. Yeah, I didn't see him. I got the chills and I started having a panic attack, and I left the venue, and he texted me after and he said, I was here tonight. He took a photo of me in the crowd. And I felt like I really wanted more than anything to say something to you, but it didn't feel right. He was just there by himself staring at me. Like he had photos of me in the crowd. And I'm freaking out. And then all that night, he's blowing me up. And he's like, I love you, to please, I can't do this. I can't believe I'm in New York without you. I need you. Let's get back together. I love you, whatever. And I woke up the next day, my case manager, my detective, I was like, what do I do? And then, he found out where I was living in New York, my new apartment, which was crazy and weird. And he was at a bar right by that apartment. And he goes, I'm pretty sure this is where you moved to in Greenpoint in Brooklyn. He goes, please come meet me. And my detective was like, tell him you'll be there in 20 minutes. And it was not me. It was her.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and he got arrested. So that was the final.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, and trust me, there was a part of my heart. Like, it's not easy to have someone you're that in love with.
How was your heart at that time? Because you, like.
I was weeping.
Yeah.
I was like dry heaving and weeping. But I knew. It was out of my system. So I always tell people whenever they go through this stuff or they have somebody in their life that's going through it, I think sobriety is the same way. I'm always like, you got to let people arrive at that on their own, because they'll get there. They will, hopefully. Obviously not always. There's obviously a lot of death and, serious injury in these situations and stuff. So obviously we pray to God that they get there and like that they get there on their own. But I got there. And I think everybody in my life knew I would. They were very worried, but they were like, this isn't her. She'll wake up one day. And I did. Yeah. But I think that's the way you ensure that you actually leave, because it's on your terms. Yeah. I was fully like, I am not dealing with this ever again. That's it. Like piercing, like ears ringing, clarity, saw the light. Like that was it.
Like I'm done.
I was like, I'm done. Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, after 3 years of this. Ooh. Yeah, so, and that's what I'm trying to pivot my podcast back to. Yeah. It used to be called Violently Funny, and I had it with another comic a couple years ago, but the pandemic kind of got in the way of it. But that's kind of what I want to bring. I want to bring that back, because it's a dating podcast, but with a very specific focus about these kinds of relationships.
Yeah,
and it was like funny and dark, and we would have counselors on and lawyers and case managers and survivors.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was always funny. It was always,
Yeah.
because I'm a comedian, so I find the darkness and the humor in the darkness and everything.
Okay, that's amazing. I mean, like, so, how did you heal from that? Like, I know that obviously took a while, but
Yeah.
like, what did that healing look like for you?
It's still happening
Yeah.
based on the 15
sure.
minutes of this podcast that I spent shaking and
Yeah.
needing to send a text message to someone I like and feel some kind of way about or whatever. It's still happening. I think healing is like a lifelong thing and it's like not linear. But I will say this, I took like 2 to 3 years off of like sex and dating.
Okay,
For
wow.
the most part. I mean, I couldn't have sex without like weeping. Like I couldn't like it was like
No, that's real.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, like the first few times and we're still friends to this day, but I had sex with a good friend and I thought I could just fuck the pain away. Which is also something in your 20s that I think you can do, but at 34, I cannot do that. I can't do it anymore.
I couldn't even do it in my 20s. There was a
Me
moment,
either. Yeah.
like after, I don't think I've ever like talked about it on the pod because it's like very intense, but it was like a few years after like an essay happened and I started like kind of casually dating, and with casually dating comes like people having sex pretty soon, and I felt like, okay, I could do this, and it was just like I would actually leave these guys' apartment building, like
Me
crying,
too.
because it was just like
Me too.
I was so scared of the intimacy, and I'm like, I think I need to like go to therapy and unpack that more, because I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I eventually stopped leaving guys places and crying, but like,
Yeah.
but at some point, like there was this moment where I was like, oh my God, like I would just leave in the middle of us hooking up and just crying.
Yeah. No, trust me.
Yeah.
I get it. That was the first time I had sex. I was in the middle of court stuff, or I had just wrapped court stuff, and I was like, I'm single, whatever, and sex is like transformative for me and kind of healing for me and a distraction and whatever. And we're still friends to this day. We were coworkers at the time, and we went home, we got really drunk, and we had sex, and did he finish? I don't distinctly remember holding back tears during sex and then rolling over and like trying so hard to have him not notice that I'm crying in bed.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Are you okay?" And I just like jumped out of bed, and he was like, "I don't know a lot of what's going on, but like some of our friends told me like there's some shit going down right now." And I was like, "There is. I'm so sorry.
Like,
This isn't you at all. I gotta go." And he was like, "I get it. Do you want me to like drive you back to your apartment?"
That's so
Sweetie
nice.
pie. Yeah, like got me an Uber.
Oh,
like
crying.
really sweet. Got me an Uber. I said no. I just like walked
Yeah.
around New York in the middle of the night, like crying and getting these feelings out, and then got myself a cab back. But
what was running through your mind like during that time, like during like intimacy with him, that like triggered it?
I had felt so much, so painfully, so deeply for 3 years with this man. Like fear, jealousy, shame, guilt, betrayal, love, anger, what you name it. That sex felt way too raw. Like sex felt like, I don't even know, like my soul was getting fucked, but like not in a good, romantic, deep, passionate way. Sex just felt like I finally, for the first time after 3 years, had my body back and had myself back. And then having sex at that with someone I'm not super comfortable or safe with. I was just kind of like, this doesn't feel right. I shouldn't be doing this to myself. I need to just be with myself. And my co-host of this podcast and the person I'm staying with now was my intimacy coach. And she used to talk about like when she finally got sober from both those relationships and sex like that with men, and sober from alcohol and drugs. She said that like she spent the first few months like sleeping in her bed by herself.
Yeah.
If you're crying, it's okay. Cry. It's fine. And shower and sitting on the shower floor, cold shower, and just kind of feeling
I've done
it.
that, and that's the most healing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like, so she talked about it too. She's like, it's just like, it was like no men, nothing, not even a lot of contact with my friends. Like I was getting sober from so many things in my life, recovering from that relationship. And she was like, it was just, I just needed to be by myself, like on every level, and just hug myself in bed at night and stuff. I know.
Crying a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I still need that and heal that way too in some ways. But yeah, sex was just too, and it was also so hard because I had such like passionate, wonderful sex, toxic sex as well too with him for 3 years. So then to go back and do that with anybody else just felt
felt like wrong? Like, did you feel like a sense of guilt?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's normal in like any post breakup. You're like, this isn't my boyfriend.
You're like, ew, like,
I
this is
don't
a stranger.
know.
Like,
Who is this man?
Yeah. Like, oh my God, what is my ex gonna think? Like, all my exes probably like, they're not gonna want to be with me now because I like hooked up with this guy. Like, took the
Yeah, and I feel like also too spending your 20s recovering like that too catches up to you. So I mean, I left him in my late 20s, and I'm 34 now, and like I don't have it in me anymore to like boss bitch my way out of a breakup. I don't know, and by boss bitch, I'm like I used to like get 5 new jobs and fuck immediately, and like 3 workouts a day,
but
and
like
you know, or whatever.
Like I feel like we were always like taught that that's like what we need to do to heal, and yes, like those things are like great, right? Like keep yourself busy, put yourself out there, like get back to your health. Like that's great, but I think number one should just be like it's okay to just rot.
Yeah.
And fucking cry
and feel it
and just be like, you know what? I'm not ready to fucking be a boss bitch.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking be lazy and feel bad for myself right now.
Yeah.
You know, like you need that time.
I think it's a rubber band that snaps because that's where I'm at. I also think as you get older, you get softer. Like I'm soft. Yeah. I'm softer than I've ever been in my life. Like just like crying and giving benefit of the doubt to things and finding, you know, and I do think spending all of my 20s exactly what you said, doing that like, oh, he fucked me over. Well, I'm going to get a job and fuck someone and go on a bender and girls trip. And
he's gonna fucking regret it. Like,
is he watching my story? Right. Like whatever. And man, I don't have that in me anymore.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's my body being like, hey, by the way, reminder, that never worked.
That never worked
before. So it's not gonna work now.
Maybe now because therapy is like such a thing that we all do now that's like normalized, but back like when we were, because we're 91, so we're the same age, like back when we were like in our 20s, especially early 20s, no one was really talking about that, like mental health and like taking care of yourself. It was like
didn't become a conversation until like late 20s is when it became a conversation.
Like we were just going to the club in our little HR fucking outfits, little pencil skirts and shit and high heels, and like trying to make out with boys and like get fucking drunk on Smirnoff vodka, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we were just burying everything.
Literally.
Yeah, I mean, if you even look at like I can look back at college and look at things now and be like, that was SA. Like, that was like, that should never have happened.
That should never
happened. Yeah.
1000%. Because I look at so many moments back then, I'm like, that was just not okay.
Yeah.
And I was definitely taken advantage of so many times.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't know if it's what the Gen Zers are doing now, but like I don't think that like partying the way that we did before is like still a thing.
I don't think so. I don't think they leave the house the way that we did.
Yeah, because we were outside.
Yeah, we were out on these streets. Yeah, we definitely were.
As much, and Instagram barely became a thing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like generationally things come back around. So I feel like our parents and boomers and stuff weren't doing that, right? So then Gen X started to kind of do that.
Yeah.
And then millennials were the first generation that were like
shots.
Like
club culture was like in its thing, its prime, you know?
And I mean, even look at the music we listen to, like Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking your call tonight. I'm on the dance floor getting fucked up and whatever. I'm working on a bit about that too, where it's like, oh, you wonder why millennials are in such debt? Look at all the songs we listened to. They all were like, I know my rent was gonna be late about a week ago. And it's like, you know, everything was like, I'm in the club, just got paid.
Yeah,
I'm
look
going
at my
out.
Gucci shoes.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Glamorous by Fergie, and now we're all 34 and like, oh, we'll never own a home. Great.
We're like, fuck.
Yeah, the club was not a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I should have just got used to yoga instead of just drinking vodka all the time.
But that's a really good point you bring up. There was a lot of pressure in our 20s. Millennials in their 20s, it was very party, live your life to the fullest.
Yep.
Go, be hot. And
exactly.
I think now we're all like, oh, okay. Yeah. And Gen Z is like, they say Gen Z is like having the least sex. They say that like they are the least sexual, they're the least sexually active, they're the most sober.
Yeah.
They don't even have an interest in drinking.
It's because they saw us be fucking sloppy and messy and we're like, that's not fucking cute.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's part of it.
Like, they don't do any of that. So
yeah.
So I like there's pros and cons, but for sure, like I think that's why we have these anxious attachment styles and stuff like that, and like we're like now going to therapy and unpacking most of our 20s because we were fucking blacked out for most of our 20s. And
yeah,
again,
well, that's
looking
another
back
thing
and
we
being
don't
like,
even remember
I was
it.
essayed, you know, so.
Yeah, that's another thing. Do you even remember half the shit that happened to you in your 20s?
No, 'cause
yeah.
sometimes I hear about shit or I'll like randomly remember stuff. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, college was crazy. Yeah, college, I had some ones, and I also just like, I look back at every guy that I had a fling with or something in my 20s, and I was like, what a colossal waste of time, and all he did was set me back on my, like, growth and confidence and, like, everything. Like, I was like, honey, you were never going to change him. What are we doing? Like,
I remember my parents used to say, like, don't focus on boys. Like, just focus on you, your schoolwork or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I was so boy crazy at, like, a very young age. And I look back and I'm like, who gives a fuck about these boys? Like, just do, like, focus on your schoolwork. Like, I now get it. I'm like, okay, like, actually, do you, bitch? Like, fuck these men. Like, they're literally not worth it.
No.
They're not.
No.
You know?
Even though you have a good one for 5 years.
I have a good one for now. Yeah. Like, some are worth it. But, like,
I know.
But are, like, 99% of the guys that I've dated and yeah, no.
Yeah, and it's so funny in hindsight, I can only look back at 1 or 2 that I was like, that was a legitimate connection in a relationship that should have happened. Maybe but 3. Everything else, I'm like, oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
Or just even crushes on guys that like didn't even like me back. I'm like, why was I so
obsessed? Well, that's the thing too. And I think in dating culture now, it is cool to play it cool. We've come all the way back around with that. Yeah. And it's everyone's so afraid to get thrown off their game. I don't even think it's option culture anymore. But that's what makes everybody go crazy because there's no. So hence that's why like I can't even begin to tell you. And it's first off, I love you for putting up with me. With I was having a spiral on the way over here over like 10 different things. And I had one friend like do not text, and then I had another friend that was like just text. And I was like, I actually feel so much better because it's like I feel like I have control in the situation now. Like I've said my feelings. Now he knows when I come back to like. And why do we forget that? Like I have so much control.
That's why I was like, just say it because we're so like. Because here's the thing, like especially with dating, everyone is just walking around with a bunch of fucking trauma. Yeah, you know, and we're all like trying to protect ourselves. And I think the one way that we do to protect ourselves is to not say how we feel.
It's never going to ruin a real connection, not to be a throw pillow from Target. Right. But with anybody in your life, if you say what you really feel, and they're like, this is too much, they were never down for it to begin with. Because I have had some really tough conversations, even with just friends, where it's like, but those are my strongest friendships, like where it's like, I'm going to be really honest with you right now. You're being an asshole. Yeah. And this was not okay. And I did not. And it's like, that's never ruined. I loved when they've done it to me and they've loved when I've done it to them. Same. And it's only made us like these people are also in my will. Like they are my best friends. Yeah. So,
because I mean, with everything, right? Like every type of relationship, even if it's a guy that you went on a first date with, there's a relationship there, whether it's fucking serious.
There's a relationship
there. It's a relationship. Yeah. So it's like we have to just be real with each other.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. It's like communication frees you.
Because that's what's really what the issue is with dating is no one knows how to fucking talk to each other and communicate and be honest. Everyone just goes around being like, I don't know, and then just never say how the fuck they feel.
Oh, welcome to our generation where it's like penetrate me on the first night, but me tell you I want to see you again. Oh, I can't do that. That's too far.
Too far.
That's too far.
But you can fuck the shit out of me.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
I'll show you my private parts.
I had one of my friends reminded me of that. They were like, this man's dick has been in the back of your throat. Text him and say you want to hang out again. How do you figure? Like, and I'm like, because that's scarier.
That's scarier. But it's okay.
Yeah.
We need to normalize that. It's okay to say how you feel.
Yeah.
And also be okay with whatever outcome may be.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's another thing, too. It's like that's what we're scared of is essentially being rejected.
100%.
But just like at least you put yourself out there. You know.
And now everybody knows where everybody stands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will let you know if I end up getting dicked down again.
You're like, I need that dick.
I really do.
Anyways, oh my God, this was so much fun, even though we literally just met an hour ago.
I feel like we are soulmates.
We are soulmates. Because I never meet like that many other Aquariuses, weirdly enough.
Me either. I say this all the time. It's the least popular sign, I think.
It's the least popular sign. Mm-hmm. And when you tell someone you're an Aquarius, they're like, oh, okay. Because it's like, we don't have the stereotypes like, you know, like Geminis or Scorpio or Cancer. You know, Aquarius are just like, So what do they do?
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
We're like, we're just kicking it.
Yeah, exactly. We're just whatever. No, I feel like
Yeah.
I don't meet a lot of Aquarians either. I met one last night that not only is an Aquarius, but has my exact birthday, a dude.
What?
He's a comic.
Whoa.
He was like February 1st. And I was like, yo, what? I was like, this is
like,
should we get married?
Right,
I was like,
are we
what?
compatible? What's your moon and rising?
I am a Virgo moon and a Cancer rising. So the Cancer rising is also why
you're so like
I was like, my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send a text message. I need to know.
And then the Virgo, so you have a lot of like.
I am very analytical, obsessive, overthinking. That's the Virgo moon.
Okay.
But also very protective of my
Yeah,
emotions
because
as
you're
well
overthinking that. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, big time. What about you?
Aquarius, Aries.
Ooh.
So I'm just like an ADHD mess.
Do you have an impulsive moon? Are you like angry? Do you have a temper?
I actually don't have a temper, nor am I like ever really angry.
Yeah.
I think my passion comes with like working and like the pot, like
Yeah.
could be very like
You're
intense.
a doer.
Yeah, like sometimes
Aries are doers.
like I definitely sometimes overwork myself way too much to the point of burnout, but I don't ever really get like angry or feisty, but what I do, because obviously I'm human, it does get really fucking feisty. It's just I'm not like a hothead or anything like that.
No, you got good vibes.
Yeah.
You get great vibes.
Thank
I
you.
love Aries, by the way, too. I'm all about
I
Aries.
do love Aries too. Like
Yeah.
I love the realness of it. I think they're like very passionate, fiery people.
Yeah, I do too. And they're very real and truthful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where that comes from.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, do you want to plug yourself? Where can people find you?
At Brittany Brave. And then Violently Funny podcast is coming back. I have Big Yikes, my current podcast, but I didn't feel like it really had a focus. It was just good convo. So you can follow Big Yikes. They're going to stay online.
Yeah.
But I will be bringing Violently Funny podcast back. And I'm on tour. I'm probably coming to your city, wherever you are.
Oh my God, a touring comedian. We love it. We love it.
She busy. Spirit Airlines.
Spirit Airlines. Wait, are you sponsored by Spirit Airlines?
No, I wish.
Oh my God, hilarious.
I wish. Are you kidding?
That's so funny.
That would make all the sense in the world.
Right. Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
All right, follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brocotherapy.com. All that shit is there. All right, bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so sorry for that spiral.
Growth therapy.